Hello darlings, hola from Spain. So this video is about the importance of HIIT training for your mind. And if you don't know what HIIT means, it's high intensity interval training. So this is for you if you're constantly thinking about stuff you've got to do all the time. If you're a doer, maybe you feel overwhelmed about the amount of stuff you've got to do on your to-do list. And maybe when one thing is done, you're like, okay, cool, right, next. And you don't really stop to congratulate yourself. Maybe it's an obsession. Maybe you're one of these people who are like a workaholic, where you're constantly obsessed with what you can do next, or your goals, or how you can get better. And sometimes these thoughts can pervade your other activities that you're enjoying. So it can also work in the other way. Maybe you are more of a non-doer, and maybe you don't really have much motivation to do stuff. Overwhelm can cause both of these things. Normally overwhelm stops people from doing things. You just think, oh, what's the point, because my goal is so far away, there's no point doing it. And so, too much doing can result in fatigue and burnout. And the same for not doing. If you sit in the park and you just do nothing, and you just, enjoy life and just, I'm not saying enjoying life is bad, but if you just, there's not enough action you're taking, you're not going to get any results, basically. So I want you to think about the last time you did something and you just completely didn't stop, and you were just thinking, oh my god. And the last time you did something mindfully, or the last time you did nothing. When was the last time you did nothing? I think that's more of an important question here. There's been studies, research in psychology shows that studies have been done on mindful activities, and how when we stop and slow down and are more mindful about, there's so many studies about mindfulness, but one of the particularly interesting ones is that when we slow down and experience things in more detail, then we form better memories, and therefore we are able to recall these memories better, which leads to more positive effects, more positive subjective well-being, and actually makes us feel like we're living longer, because we're having more of a quality, like more of a depth of life. So even if even if you don't live as long as other people, if you've experienced life more deeply, then you've lived longer, if that makes sense. So you're kind of living in vertical time rather than horizontal chronological time. So everything in life needs balance, and it's doing versus being is related to masculine and feminine energy. So masculine energy is all about doing, control, it's fueled by testosterone, and feminine energy is very much about receiving and not doing and letting go and surrender. So we need both in order to have a balance. So we're constantly thinking about, in our heads we're constantly thinking about the past, or we're thinking about the future. But if you think about it, the future is actually now, because in the past when we talked about the future, we were describing now. So the future is always now, because the future is some abstract concept that we'll never actually reach. So for yourself, if you want to invest in your future, invest in now, because that is all we have, and that is the future. So what I want you to do is to just stop, okay? Just for 1 minute after an activity, after you've done something, just stop, okay? And you can meditate, or if you don't know how to meditate yet, or you don't feel comfortable meditating, just be mindful, okay? So just stop and just marvel at something natural. Look at a plant, or look at a cat, or look at another person. What do you mean mindfulness is boring? We live in a magical world. I literally can't handle how fucking magical this planet is. Like, an entire tree grows out of a seed. What the fuck? The moon controls the tides. How does that work? dolphins, right, can talk to each other on the phone. And humans can humans can tell the difference between a trillion different smells, okay? So that's your homework. Take a minute and try and see how many smells you can differentiate between. It's crazy. This planet is crazy. This universe is crazy. NASA have found over 1,000 planets in the last 20 years, and one of them fucking rains glass sideways. So don't say that mindfulness is boring. Just go and look at something natural and literally just like marvel at it. It is so refreshing, okay? It's like HIIT training for your mind. So we want high intensity bursts of action. That's cool. You can continue doing that. You can plow through your to-do list. But just please take a minute here and there. Some deep breaths if you want. Just mindful. Just slow down. Just relax. Just have 1 minute. And it will really, really refresh you. It's like turning your computer off and on again, you know? It's like restarting it. It's like turning your phone off. Like we don't even turn our phones off anymore. But the phone loves it when you do that, I swear. It makes it feel so much better. So not only do we need sleep as humans, but we need to actually have moments where we're awake, but we are chill and we're like regenerating. So our brain's going to assimilate all this extra knowledge and process all the shit that we have to take in all the time. You know, it's a neurological level. It's so important for your brain to reset and to just chill. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed doing versus being. Don't forget to just be and enjoy this life that's happening to you right now. And if you want more information on training your mind, then check out livingintentionally.co.uk, and I'll see you next time. Have a nice day.